Welcome to Day 2 of our coverage of the final 12-level week of 6 years of Mario Maker, and indeed the whole 5 and 6 years of Mario Maker project on the whole. We may in fact be finishing today, given that we got through 4 out of 12 levels in yesterday's stream, and hopefully we'll have time to do all of the remaining 8 today, beginning with Life After Stepping by the somewhat suspiciously named Mangbang69. This also, by the way, happens to be level number 69 in the combined 5 and 6 YMM project, for all kinds of coincidental reasons, I'm sure. So, poor Sonic is all flat now. Will you step on him again? I think the answer is yes. So let's play. Okay, down we go. I have to read these semi-solids accurately. And probably just, whoops, we do have to keep on jumping. Can't just run across given the falling speed of the blue platforms. Yeah, I do need to actually jump. I was trying to jump, I was just a little bit late in that, and welcome Mang, who may or may not have some relation to Mangbang69, who knows. Yeah, I need to go around and leave a platform alive so I can actually go up. That was fairly clear. I just did not plan that properly. Short jumps here. Yeah, let's not step on both of the platforms at the end, of course. You can probably just jump directly if you stay in the air after the swamp hits. And indeed, the block there seems to be discouraging the kind of tactic that I'm going for, where I go behind and then go in front. We should probably just get as much air time as possible and wind up over here, under the cloud, because we are just going to take that kind of risk and bump my head yet again. Looks like it's going to be take the dry bones up, and then I don't see what's going on with the bomb setup on top just yet, but I haven't really had time to look at it, so. Yeah, just shorter, more rapid jumps all around should be able to do the trick here. Just maintain some forward momentum. We actually should have just let the swamp go in front, I think. And chasing it from behind might, in fact, be much easier. There we go. Okay, we lowered a muncher onto the bomb, and that triggers the switch. Now, this allows me to go through this way. That was not a great idea. Oh, yes it was, because there is a vine that's under the blue blocks. I didn't see that until I was already on my way to death. There we go. Try this once again. Loop around. Leave some of that alive if I'm able to do so. And here we are. Yeah, probably should just ride down one additional platform or just do a shorter jump. I expected that to be a side swamp, I just didn't really react to it properly. Okay, there we go again. Might as well use that strategy while it lasts. Okay. Up we go. That was not what I expected. Thwomp is going to hit. The Thwomp is going to hit and drop the Piranha, which most just gives me a little bit of extra room to continue, but we'll go back there and see what that's all about. Yeah, maybe backing off from the Champa a little more aggressively than we should be doing. We can fix that too. Okay. Going to make some room. And back down we go. Oh, look at a Chomp RNG just deciding to go down this time. Not something I had to deal with previously, but we'll just make sure we're extra careful with accounting for all possibilities when it comes to that Chomp's range of movement. Down we go. And yeah, just stalling a little bit with it seems to be an appropriate strategy. Go down and take this. And miss. Once again. Too busy planning ahead for dealing with the Thwomp and not really focusing on the jump itself that is taking me down there in the first place. Up we go. Okay. Up we go. Wait. Oh no, I needed to hit them multiple times, okay. And every time it's going to clip the Pokey down a little bit lower. Yeah, it's a series of repeated hits. It just took me a moment to understand that when I was already riding too many platforms down. I was riding so many platforms down because I was looking for some kind of timing mechanism, and then when I finally looked ahead to how the Pokey was positioned, it was very clear that I just need to hit the switch as much as possible. Okay, here we are. I didn't need to do that many, I don't think, but I do need the state to be at the end of that sequence set to off. Which tells me that the number of hits should be odd numbered, and hopefully 3 hits will be enough. I think 3 hits is probably all I can manage, in fact, because one platform is going to be expended just getting there in the first place on the way up. So we should plan around 3 hits. And there we are. Whoops. Let's go over that icicle, and then what's going on here with the on-off switch? I see we have Knuckles down there, also stepping on Sonic. We need to lower the green Koopa shell and fire it across, which is going to be interesting. Particularly if we do things like this and miss repeatedly. Yeah, Knuckles is just going to get in our way over there. I don't know who the green Koopa is supposed to be, but Sonic lore is often confusing, so I should go back and replay Sonic Mania at some point. I played Sonic Mania before I had a capture card, so I have never shown it off on stream. I don't know if I would stream it, but I enjoyed it enough that I want to go back sometime for the Mania Plus content. There's no time to play everything, though. Nope, bad idea. That's okay. As long as we get a sequence that allows me to take one icicle down. And yeah, instead of accidentally picking up, we do that and get out. And that's checkpoint 1. No sign of the cake yet. I suppose we clear everybody. I wonder if there's a reason to keep the shell. There might be a reason to keep the shell. That's what I'm thinking. Well, we'll look ahead to see if there's a shell interaction. Yeah, it looks like this is the incentive to keep the shell. Because once we lower everything, I would still need to hit the block somehow. Yeah, maybe that contains a key, in fact. Let's just continue for now, and we'll see if there's any other way to hit that block from further below. Okay. Looks like we'll probably need to ride an icicle up, in fact. Yeah, just having a shell available is going to make that much simpler. And Mr. Influential, we're doing alright. Therimon, welcome. And yeah, Therimon, I mean, you've got plenty of time to catch up as a player. I wouldn't worry about that, given that the tide of levels has finally subsided with the final release. And yeah, I'm glad you could catch me here today, so we can hopefully get to your contributions soon enough. Yep, as expected, that's a key. I don't know if I want to keep the shell for anything else. Let's do it anyway. And totally risk it waking up on me. And yeah, Therimon, I've been playing, of course, all of 5 and 6YM and going for all of the optional objectives, and even so, this week I was, of course, behind just from playing Metroid last week instead. And it is a bit of a time commitment, depending on how well you do. I think 4YM last year took me... Well, I recorded it, so I know that it took me probably a little over 40 hours in total to be a completionist about it. 5 and 6YM having quite a few more levels in it is actually taking me about the same time, but not much longer. I should have let go. The shell does begin to wiggle at that point, so... Maybe there is no reason to carry it forward just yet, but we should be on the lookout for that, in case there is some kind of second objective to hit with the shell. As you can see with the Boom Boom stack later on, though, that doesn't look like it's going to be the case. I think the opportunities to use the shell a second time are not really apparent. And so we'll just go for now. And keep an eye on that for future purposes. Yeah, just hedging on the icicle drop a little bit. Obviously, you drop all the icicles, you get up on the vines, you then deal with the Boom Boom stack. Having the Boom Boom stack there, of course, tells you that there isn't going to be some separate fight with Boom Boom, at least in that subworld. Since they are going to be all present and accounted for. No, I kept thinking that I was jumping before hitting the second platform on the right stack. And so I thought I still had a little bit of room to move there, and that was In the end, not really the case. And here we go. And, oh, what did I say about not actually using the shell? Now we get over to the next platform, and then Boom Boom keeps the Thwomp globally loaded for a chase sequence. Actually, it's only 4 Boom Booms, so there's 1 Boom Boom still unaccounted for, who I expect we would in fact need to face later on. Because a Mang Mang 69 level just works that way. Now, did we miss anything? Everything is screen locked, so I'm assuming no. Do we need 2 keys? Quite possibly. Or we get a second key off of what is potentially a hard mode segment. Oh, here's the Mang face. Going to put in the eyes in the Mang face. Mang 6Y. Of course we're going to try to make that. And fail at it. 6Y. I feel like there's a block that has a key somewhere here. XYMM. Well, let's move on up. And is there going to be a second key? I suppose there should be. Unless we are to just reverse through all this, yeah. So here's a Mang cake in the desert. The kind of ancient architecture that will last for millennia. Kind of like a pyramid that has been repurposed and carved anew. And that's it. Unless I missed anything. I don't think so. And yeah, N Mario, the Mang face is just the artist's signature. We found it in many, many levels before, and so that was instantly recognizable, so thank you for that, Mang. Let's take a look at the comments. Cake. Oh. Mang69 is going to have none of this request to stop stepping. And this was, in fact, level 69, as we noted earlier. Ooh, shiny. Come closer, my child. Got him, not again. Well, I don't remember any part where I was necessarily trapped, although I did get whacked by icicles a few times, perhaps. Deleted comments. Sleeping Yoshi-like creature. Sort of like a hand sketch of the So Tough card. And I feel like I've made this joke before at some point. One small step for Mang, one giant leap for mankind. Like probably when playing one of the space levels. But that's okay, it's still a good joke. Yeah, I kind of wish that too. If only Mang made this level instead of, you know, this imposter with the glasses. And oh, look at that. Neat little contribution here from Luca. I'm looking at all of the geometries around this as well. It's kind of like you're in the middle of solving Tetromino translation. Unless there's something else that's going on with the rotary configurations that we see. I think you actually are solving Tetromino translation. That's the thing that's going on. Anyway, oh, Lantis is also going to sketch the artist. So, yeah, I think Luca is winning the comment section so far, on top of also holding the world record, which is kind of a double achievement. So, let's move on to the next level. And yeah, yes, a shorter level since you're completely out of entities. Yeah, given all the platforms that you were using, I would think so. Seemed like you were fairly tight on budget. I was surprised that there wasn't the additional Boom Boom at the end, but I suppose the Boom Boom stack was just high enough that you would have to jump over it. Just to keep everything in order. Next one is going to be Switchback Swamp by Jackson. Here we are. The tides of this marsh change direction based on the way one is facing, so it looks like it's going to be a direction detection mechanism combined with some platforming. So let's see how it goes. No switching mechanism here yet, but this is just the intro zone, and we'll see if this pipe is here specifically to just get us into an intro zone right away. Like a vertical climb or something else. No, just going to set up some auto-scroll. Oh, I see. So you can move this based on direction detection moving a conveyor, or rather switching the state of a conveyor, such that you face right to move the trampoline boat to the right, you face left to move it to the left. Very responsive, in fact. Just a quick and snappy mechanism that just answers you instantly. The twisters are there, I guess, to constrain your facing direction to the left. Because by doing that, the boat remains in place until you're actually ready to deal with it. Notice that the raft is also involved in bumping the Goomba, or the Goom Rat rather. That's a suspicious piranha pipe. Oh, did we despawn everything by tossing it off screen? Yes, I did, so let's not do that. Getting ahead of the auto-scroll slightly. Perhaps in a way that was not ideal. Yeah, you can see the twisters constrained to facing direction. That's a really neat little use of that technical attribute. Being caught up like that, whoops. Losing our safety helmet already. This time the Goomba will not get bumped, it will just ride things out. Oh, because the last time I didn't bump it, I just reversed the raft to the left to shake it off. Okay, let's go. And yeah, this claw placement is interesting in that it really does teach you the mechanic right away. And because the tendency, of course, is to swing back and forth on claws, and that, of course, gets you into all kinds of trouble. You have to remember, of course, that the facing direction is going to be a little bit constrained after you jump. Yeah, because how often do you find yourself holding still on a claw and not changing direction or swinging? I guess that's... Ah, there we go. Bumped it. Doesn't look like I can access the green pipe at all, so whoops, too low. Okay, here we go again. And here we are. Whoops. Probably could have bumped it with the helmet, but let's just manipulate this. Just to get rid of that guy down below. Whoops. Now here, I know that I want to ride this out all the way to the coin. And then we kind of wiggle around here for our next position. Once again, let's not scroll too far ahead, and we do need to get a bit of a swing. That's precisely what that is set up to test. Nickaboos, welcome. Now, I don't know if Jackson was using the same kind of direction detection mechanism that you were using previously. It does feel very responsive. I know you had a couple of different designs that had a different lag time when it came to how many frames it would take to get things moving, but this feels really quite snappy. And I didn't see how it was loaded in, of course. It is going to be something off-screen or otherwise concealed. This one is really different because it's global. Right, because the one you did last year was kind of room by room with the clown cars, right? Yeah, I saw that the top left corner when we spawned in had something going on with the thwomp, which might have been where the global mechanism was taking place, but I didn't get a good look at it, and I think some of it is quite well concealed anyway. Yeah, you see the blasters that are up the slopes on the top left there. That's positioning something. Okay, let's try to, for the most part, get the platform centered. Yeah, you can do quite a bit here strategically to try to make things work out. The main thing that really makes this concept work, I think, is the presence of the claws, because claws just inherently motivate you to change direction. And it's very easy to just do that as a habit. And so it is one of those Mario Maker levels that is about breaking habits and about correcting any kind of mechanical patterns in muscle memory that you might just take for granted. Okay. That could have gone a lot worse. Let's not scroll everything off. Nope. I should have gone back to the claw first, probably. Just to reposition. This one uses the fact that boos have collision with other boos. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that behind the scenes at some point. Because that's really interesting. I can't quite visualize how that would be done. Obviously, you know, boos would be a central mechanism in any kind of a facing detector, but the collision seems to be a pretty unique property. Okay, let's get this over. Just stay on the donut blocks for the time being until we have an opportunity. And that works pretty well. It is a coin collection level, so it's probably not going to be anything involving jumping off the Goombas into the pipe or something tricky like that. Okay, let's go. Oh, whoops. Bump that fish just to lose the helmet. And that does, unfortunately, restrict one of the other tactics I've been using with the helmet later. Okay. Back here we go. And bump this guy. I'd rather not load him onto the boat. as much as that would feel kind of like some of the ideas in the NSMB series when it comes to the various poison raft rides in those games. Okay, here we go. Didn't actually expect to get caught up in a claw there, but I'll take it. Yeah, hit the POW. And then we'll get over here. Buzzy Helmet is going to be the thing that's checked here, and we'll of course lose that immediately. That's okay. Yeah, that just needed a slight adjustment to get around that Cheep Cheep. But so far, all coins are accounted for. Up to that point in the level, not great. We will have another Buzzy Helmet later though, so all is not lost. That was not ideal, but we made it. Almost. Okay, lead this slightly. I'll just reposition here and there. Just to keep things under control. Now we need to deal with this oncoming Cheep Cheep. And we are almost out of here with 3 coins so far. Heading to the checkpoint. Right at the end. Anyway, same kind of loading zone here. Gets the mechanism going slightly off screen in the top left, and then we have a twister, can find my facing direction until everything is ready to go. Oh, look at that bump as a way of getting out. Spike balls probably? Yeah, thought so. Now, I missed my only opportunity to push that Goomba, I think, but it's going to get pushed over here, so... Here we go. Nope. We will want another round with that, but I won't get the opportunity. One moment. Okay. Just needed to adjust a quick thing at my desk. Let's continue. Spike balls once again? Nope. That's okay, let's see if we can make it without the helmet for the time being, without losing access to any coins. And forward. Yeah, this is fairly straightforward. Just stall. Head on up. Let's bump off the Goomba quickly this time. It's kind of nice to have that strategic option available to you. Now here, we wait for the donut drop and grab this. Wait, what happened to the mechanism? Why did everything continue in spite of the fact that I faced left? I feel like I might have broken something. I'm not exactly sure because I thought it was facing left at that point, and the platform just decided to go. I don't know if it signaled at any point that it would not respond. Yeah, that seems strange. But we'll go back and do it again anyway, so we'll see if we can avoid that problem. Move this. Punching that guy like that was maybe not great, but he will disembark immediately, so not a problem. Okay, so the facing mechanism still works. I don't know why it didn't work before. I wonder if the thwomp up top did anything to manipulate that. Okay, now we just do this bit of gate control over here. Of course I'm curious, and unwisely so. Oh, okay, no, that's the problem. Forgot about the cloud expiry. Or rather, I knew the cloud was going to expire, I just didn't think about positioning everything ahead of time to catch that. Given that... Yeah, given the way things are built, I guess that was worth checking, that given that it's the auto-scroll that is constraining the camera's vertical position here. And that something could very well be up top. Although I think this level has been pretty consistent about giving me all of the coin locations and visible places so far, so sometimes just need to read the level and see where it's going in terms of secret placement. Okay, didn't break this time. Nope. Hesitated a bit because they're cheap at the end. Okay, most of the way through, though, in terms of the coins being accounted for as a pacing tool. Yeah, 7 coins total, very clear that it's just going to be 3 per section plus a safety. And then, no helmet to help me this time as a crutch, so we'll actually have to play this properly. And here we are. And yeah, Theriumon is a very versatile level. There are a lot of things that you can approach multiple ways, with multiple patterns. And up we go. And let's punch this. Oh, whoops. No, something broke. Yeah, it broke. It's not going left. So. Yeah, in general, there's still tons of stuff left to do with this game when it comes to globally loaded setups. And it's been nice to see so much of that tech research going on over the past year or so. I've barely applied it myself, but feels like we're seeing new stuff as a player on a fairly regular basis, so... You know, even between 4YMM and what we have now, it seems like the technical knowledge in the game just keeps on growing, as you would expect. but not necessarily in the ways I would have expected, like in terms of being able to predict where Mario Maker 2 would go. But yeah, we've definitely broken the mechanism a few times here, so we'll hopefully try to avoid that. Yeah, because sometimes I do a lot of mid-air adjustment just as a matter of muscle memory. It gets me into trouble in even a lot of standard platforming levels. Often those that require you to really commit to full jumps and full forward momentum. Okay, whoops. Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually popped out the right side twister, but then I accidentally got back on, so I was no longer directionally constrained by the twisters by the time the boat decided to take off, so we've got to be careful there not to get caught back on the twister once the launch occurs. And yeah, the mechanism isn't 100% reliable, but it's quick and snappy enough in most cases that I don't need to think about the underlying mechanism. I can just think about the sort of intuitive action of, am I facing left or right? And I think, you know, that's still pretty significant in terms of making the level work. The thing about complex platforming mechanisms in these time-sensitive environments is that often if you can just think about the mechanism in this really big, chunky, intuitive way as the end user, that's already a huge step. And you don't have to process a lot of information at once, you're just sort of thinking left or right. And it's interesting to think about how it works, but you don't really need to care about how it works in order to play with it accurately. Yeah, you built most of a dungeon, and Nickabooz, you're saying, with direction detection, but 3.01 broke it. And 3.01 was the one that did break the 4YMM setup, right, if I recall? About 2 weeks after the level launched. Something to do with the clown car slope jank, if I'm remembering correctly. Whoops. Didn't mean to fall right on top of that guy. Nope, thought I could sneak under the fish. That was not great. Yeah, slope behaviors, I mean, I don't exactly know what's going on behind the scenes with the slope calculation, but clearly the physics engine doesn't quite know how to handle slopes sometimes. I don't know if you saw the clip of the boomerang jank that I encountered in the 3D world, where it seemed like I made boomerangs teleport from one slope to another slope that's all the way across the screen. There was something weird going on with the slope calculation there for sure. Like, just depending on how it's represented in the engine when slope collisions are being handled. Yeah, it seemed like exactly the kind of behavior that you would never intentionally use because Nintendo would just nuke it. But yeah, I was able to reproduce it within the level, but not outside of that level. I think it was something very specific to how the slope layout was put together there. And Theorymon, I wouldn't say that you wouldn't worry about it as much. Like, the patch that we're talking about, for instance, was one that did come after the 3.0 final update. And these days, it's not really even updates breaking things in the engine that are as worrisome as Nintendo deletions that are totally opaque, because there are issues that are not being fixed, but which are still classified as deletion-worthy glitches. And we often don't have an idea which is which, right? So just because there's no transparency around that, you know, having that stuff stay in unfixed, but unusable in ways that you don't know about until your level gets nuked, I think is not really a pleasant arrangement. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Now we just follow the auto-scroll, we should be fine. And we are. 6 YMM. 2 coins left. Well, if this is a safety coin, then I missed one. It might have been above the piranha after all, then. Let's take the death, then. Yeah. What did I miss? Oh, whoops, I didn't realize that I muted my mic for the last little bit. I was responding, I don't know actually how much I missed there, but the thing I was responding to was in terms of Nintendo handling glitches. Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of the behavior that was present in Maker 1 that was never enforced, that was much more tightly enforced in Maker 2. And Nukukaza, welcome. I think you came in when my mic was temporarily muted, so... I'm going to say hello to you belatedly, and then we'll see which coin was unaccounted for. I was assuming 3 per section, plus the safety at the end, but we'll have to check the cloud location once more, I think. Because that's the only spot that's kind of unaccounted for, unless I just misread something. Nope. Worst possible timing, once again. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, if Nintendo were not quite so aggressive about deletions, or if there were some kind of appeal process for it, I think this game would be in a much healthier state long term. I think it is actually the biggest threat to the long-term health of this game, unfortunately. Simply because, you know, dedicated makers are going to be the ones who are mostly playing around with some of the more advanced setups that take advantage of things like the slope behavior. Like, as much as I hated the Icicle Global Ground patch, I could understand how, from the back end, for instance, they might see that as some kind of memory management risk, where you just keep too many objects globally loaded, potentially, just given the amount of space you can create with icicles, and then that would create some kind of memory overflow issue or some other weird behavior. Like, you can kind of imagine what they were dealing with when they were enforcing that one and fixing it. Some of the other things that Nintendo has been rather tough about enforcing against is harder to understand. Like, I can see where the Icicle patch was coming from. I think it was a bad choice, but I can see where it was coming from. And I think sometimes there might be, you know, software engineering considerations like that we simply don't know about. That was the coin, okay. I must have picked it up last time as well, I just didn't realize it. Now let's hope we don't need the helmet. If we do, we'll just redo it, of course. Got cake. Well, have we? Yes, there's a huge cake. I see 5 candles, but it is 6 YMM. So maybe the pipe on the Y is the 6th candle. Let's go with that. Maybe the flagpole is the 6th candle. Anyway, let's go down. And celebrate. And thank you for the GGs. Let's take a pause to look at the comments. Oh, what a grand cake. And yeah, I guess the Swamp Convention here needs a bit of additional maintenance on his conveyor belts. People going this way and that. And Looney making all kinds of gestures to hug the cake. Okay, let's see what's next. That's 2 down. Next will be Frost Frog Frolic by Pink Tops. I believe this is Pink Tops' 3rd contribution to this year. After the Springbone level very early on, and then the big Shell Ride level that came later on, Railgun Run. So, Pink Tops continues to enjoy alliteration in the titles, and so we have Frost Frog Frolic, where it's a spring cold spell and the frozen frogs can't slide. Seems like the thumbnail is telling you not to pick up the frogs because they can't slide, and presumably that would get you into trouble. So let's skate around some frogs. And yeah, frog's gonna jump around here. I think the tutorial section sort of implies that you must pick up the frog and it will do something for you. It's going to say no, and then it's going to do this, and then you can switch over, and then that allows you to slide over. Yeah, I get it. Interesting. I didn't know about the sliding restriction on the frog. Like, I had a sort of avoid the hopping frogs thing going on in the editor at one point, but I couldn't quite figure out how to make it work, and this is a really clever solution from Pink Tops. In terms of teasing out a frog interaction that would make and avoid the frog level easily understandable and fun to play. So, oh, whoops, that's a no. We will probably try to take damage on the icicle. How about that? Whoops. And I do lose the leaf until the next available leaf, but I think taking damage on the icicles, if we do pick up the frog, is the thing that allows you to keep the level going, so. Nice way to signal the frog restriction at the beginning as well. As long as you also sort of understand intuitively that You don't need to keep the leaf necessarily, although maybe you do need to do so for some kind of bonus content later on. Only 5 coins, though, to collect. 1-ups. Well, we saw one of them. And yeah, more leaves to deal with here. Not much room to fly with the leaf, as you can see. It's restricting you in that way. Whoops. Let's go. And yeah, very satisfying to hit switch that way. 6YMM text. That's what we've got. Let's see. 2 coins so far. I guess it's going to be 2 and 2 plus a safety. Structurally speaking, that seems to be how it's paced, but you never know. No, let's take damage somewhere. No. No way. And yeah, to turn around Sarah to make sure you can't just let the scroll boundary push you. That's a nice way of controlling that as well. To set up a neat little restriction. To ensure that it completely works as a frog check. Nope, there we go. And we got that. He's gonna toss frogs at us, yeah, because that's what he does. I wanted a snowball to grab that coin. Can we still do it? I think that was a miss. Let's continue anyway, just to see. We'll probably take the death to go back for it, though. Oh, no, we didn't miss. We actually did get it. This one, though, yeah, just barely. Whoops. Too late. I did need to get the slide. The column is just high enough to enforce the slide, in fact. So, yeah, a lot of subtle things going on here to constrain the player actions. Also, you'll notice that the frogs do appear to be coming out from underneath semi-solids and spawning off pipes and probably getting bounced up in some locations. Here for the auto-scrolling segments, that's not necessary, of course. I like how the 10 coin kind of conditions you to think about throwing snowballs and pits as well. Ahead of the pink coins that come in later, so... Whoops! Can I take damage somewhere? I don't think I can. So this will probably be... death once we hit the appropriate constraint, unless there's a leaf. There we go, there's a leaf. Nope. Oh, we're gonna miss that. Unless I take this and fire it. Yeah, we got it. And here is something bossy. It's going to be Lemmy. Great choice for this mechanic. Let's evade some frogs. So I need to hit him a few times, but we'll see how this is going to work given his positioning. I did miss the first shot, it seems. Whoops. Yeah, if you do hit that, there will be opportunities to get another leaf later, since you're no longer constrained by the slide, but rather just the ability to use the Tanuki leaf for anything. So, consuming a few frogs along the way is probably a good idea. Yeah, I landed on the lower level in a way that actually worked out. Nope. I didn't control that frog bounce well at all, but we've got a checkpoint here, so let's continue. Okay. Whoops. Once again, picking up the frog threw off my expected jump momentum. Didn't really plan for that. Actually, just slipping and sliding on the ice was also throwing off my momentum when it came to planning that first jump towards the leaf. It didn't really account for the slowdown that you get from dashing, picking up speed towards it. And yeah, you can't hit him all the way back there. He does need to be a little bit in front. Otherwise, you get into some issues. Oh. There we go. Second hit. Nope, not quite. It's quite a good fight. I do enjoy this one quite a bit. Because it's all about just executing that action. You've got lots of opportunities to retry, but you kind of have to earn your way back to the correct power-up if you lose it. And so I always like that push and pull of tension, where it's not like an absolute fail condition, but there's still going to be a bit of an execution requirement in terms of when you time those shots with the leaf to tail whip. So you do need to be attentive to timing and spacing, but ample opportunities to reset and continue and get back on pace. And yeah, as you can see, if Lemmy is shooting to the right side, that also works as a bit of a defensive block. So I do kind of need to let him shoot to the left. Fire a ball. Whoops. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, need to whack him like that. Let's dodge the first frog. Oh, I didn't expect him to come out here. I feel like I broke it. I definitely broke it. I can just jump on him at that point. So it's possible to push him. That's a speed method for anybody who wants to. Try that. Is he going to bounce up here? No? Okay. Seems like we just found a very unique behavior there that in most cases should not happen, but I'll take him. Whoa, what happened there? Okay, we got bounced. No, we have to redo the level now. I did not expect the trampoline bounce coming out of that door to skip the safety coin. Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, but whatever motivates the replays and possibly raises the overall clear rate, I suppose. Here there's actually enough distance to fly with the leaf. Anyway. We'll see how many times we run into that. I don't know if that's been an extremely common occurrence among the other streamers playing this level. I imagine that would be. That had it come out earlier in the project, it might have been a good candidate for that sort of supercut. Whoops. I wanted to hit the icicle there and I just fell. You know, working with the frog bounce and the ice momentum can really throw off your expectations for how jumping works in this game. And that seemed to be the issue. But yeah, we can totally fly here. Nope, too early. Anyway, just going to skip over to frog pits whenever we can. Did I ever check the second block here? I don't think I did. Oh, just a coin, okay. Come on. Need some rightward momentum. The frogs, of course, are immune to snowballs because they are power-ups. Yeah, this teaches you this whip mechanic well ahead of the boss where you need it. And yeah, good night, Mr. Influential. Thanks for coming by. And being as influential as always. Whoops. Now, Theorymon, you think this is going to be one of your top 6YMM levels? I'm sure you'll find a lot, Theorymon, that matches that description. Like, having played close to the full set of 76 levels at this point, you'll find quite a few that don't quite control in a way that you just predict out of the box. which teach you some kind of new interaction or some original mechanic that you'll be unfamiliar with. There was lots of that this year. I mean, lots of platforming as well in a more conventional sense, often with some of the levels that were technically spectacular in some other way, like much of the scrolling music or whatever, but no, there were a lot of really interesting platforming mechanics this time around. But yeah, this one's quite interesting. Like, I've seen sliding on ice used as a constraint in a number of different levels in the past, but I don't think I'd seen that with the frog specifically. Also notice how everything here is in the night snow theme when it comes to the overall slipperiness of every platform. And I wonder how dependent it is on the night snow theme to work, although that might just be an atmospheric consideration as well, on top of making everything flow in a way that's very slippery. I think it works out well. But I wonder how much of that is kind of required to make this concept really work as smoothly as it does. Death again. But yeah, it's a very uncommon usage of the frog, I think, for sure. And like I said, I've always wanted to make some kind of like frog hopping level where you treat them as frogs rather than as power-ups work, and so I'm really quite glad to see what Pink Tops managed to squeeze out of that concept, because I couldn't come up with anything nearly this good. Oh, whoops, lost a snowball. That's okay, we'll grab the next one, send it back. Lots of opportunities to grab those coins even if they go slightly off screen. Whoops. That was just dying to slipperiness. And yeah, the gate checks at the non-scrolling segments are kind of nice. I mean, between the frog and the Tanuki leaf, this is such a very specifically SMB3 thing as well. Just everything about this level. I guess, like this specific thematic combination, SMB3 with nighttime ice just exists to make this concept work. Just does not go anywhere else. Whoops. It does work very well with a combination of snowballs getting shot in the face too, yes. Just wouldn't be the same level without it. Wouldn't be the same if it used spike balls or something, which wouldn't be possible in the ice theme, but would be possible with just lots and lots of ice, perhaps. Like ice blocks everywhere. But yeah, the way that you occasionally get pelted by snowballs when you're jumping out of the pink coin locations, that's quite neat. Also, with the snowballs being available as one-time use projectiles that break upon collision, that adds quite a lot to the whole challenge involved here with... Oh, I should have hit that block to grab a leaf. It works out quite nicely with the coin challenge in this section as well. Even if coins 3 and 4 are kind of the same thing in terms of how you get them. I guess 1 and 2 were very similar as well, just placements that required an extra slide, but... I mean, on one hand, it would have been nice to see some of the coins really behave completely differently in terms of how you get them, but on the other hand, it does work as a bit of a consistency check. Having played Pink Tops Super World, one thing I noticed about Pink Tops is that sometimes he uses pink coins in a way that's very different from other makers, where, you know, he'll put things like 5 pink coins in a row to make sure you line up a jump properly to get the bonus route, for instance. And so he's not always thinking of coins as single points. And so it is a bit of a consistency check, I think, just to test a slide twice in the first half and test the snowballs twice here, especially because you do have a slight escalation in difficulty from one pink coin to the next with the introduction of the second Lucky 2 up top. Yeah, no longer content with being Fishing Boo. He's going to chuck frogs at you all day instead. I think I was saying to somebody recently how much I wish Fishing Boo were in this game. I think I was telling that to Electrodude, in fact, because he was trying to make some kind of concept with his Chomp Tech. Emulate that. Just have one big dangling hazard following you everywhere. Which is kind of like the Ghost House Boo, like Ghost House fishing. It's not really quite the same thing as, you know, baiting you with a coin or something. But given the way that entity limits work in this game, you could actually have a mechanic that works sort of like Fishing Boo, where you can have a state switch from peeling an item off a track, for instance. Yeah, imagine if you could attach any item to them, but also still attach any kind of throwing object, or thrown object, once you've captured the item. Would be a pretty unique interaction to have in this game. Now, can I reposition him? Not quite. We'll just avoid the frogs this time, and yeah, just jumping to the left and avoiding the frogs is not a bad idea. Just avoiding the whole cycle. However, we are going to run into some issues, we stay there. Okay. No, let's not get dunked. I could see that one coming. And yeah, Natcat is a very cool level, in a very literal sense. It's ice cold. Whoops. Okay. Get over here. Whoops. Quite. And let's wait. Yeah, I sort of wish we could just whip the frogs out of the way, but I'm going to be out of position for that every time. I mean, they're power-ups, you should be able to whip them, it's just that positionally speaking, I'm never in the right place to do anything like that. And, Lemmy here is going to be difficult as well, in terms of not getting out to where I want him to roll. There we go, actually got a hit. Whoops. Didn't compensate for ice once again. Okay, let's see if we can... Yeah, you can get the trampolines to bump Lemmy to the left, perhaps. And just sneak in and get the shot. There's a bit of a timing check here involved, so he's not firing balls defensively all day. Oh, whoops. Yeah, it's a really good vine, I think. And okay, let's get back over. And let's again just try to beat this the proper way instead of jumping on top of him at the end. Okay, let's be careful with the safety coin issue here. There we go. Do need to just hang left. And maybe picking up the frog would have been an issue as well. But we'll drop in through here, and that's a 6. And look at all the frogs in the cake. You kept the frogs alive so you could round them up in the end to make a frog cake where you eat them live. Or maybe they're frozen and preserved that way. Anyway. Or maybe the idea is that you don't become the frog, because if you become the frog, then you get trapped and you become put in the cake. Since the chef just doesn't know the difference. Hearts all over the place. And that's it. And yeah, Kermit would have quite a lot to say about that. It ain't easy being green. Anyway, let's take a look at the comments. Yeah, one of my favorite things by Pinktops to date, I think. This one was pretty special. And a really good demonstration of what you can do with the frogs. That I've been hoping for a frog level to kind of do something like that for a long time, and I just couldn't quite place what, so I'm glad somebody figured it out. Are those made with all natural, 100% organic, non-GMO, cage-free frogs? Does it particularly matter? Well, I guess if you're an ethical frog consumer. Who knows? This guy's still one of the people ordering from Paxman's Taco Bell. And there was a whole batch of comments on Paxman's Taco Bell level that was people complaining about Karen. Probably somebody just left a comment that was asking to speak to the manager, I guess. Oh, this person wants to be a frog. I guess they want to be a part of the cake and they were disappointed. They would rather be part of the cake than eat the cake. Well, whatever strikes your fancy, I guess. And Lemmy has more important things to do down there. Yes, he does. Yeah, Lemmy does kind of break at the end, for sure, but not something I could quite trigger consistently, so let's move on. And we will first acknowledge Indignation Judgment's request to read number 105, so we'll do that before the next level. And welcome Ninjar as well. And oh, perfect, we're getting a raid from Arvamp. I'll acknowledge that, and then we will do the Shakespeare request. And yeah, Arvamp, thank you for bringing in your crew. We're just running some of the remaining 6 YMM levels today. I believe I have 5 more to go. And then we are done for this year. So, hope the Maker stream went well on your side. I'll get back to you in just a moment because we just had a reward redemption to take care of. We'll do that first. Okay, so here is William Shakespeare, Sonnet 105. Let not my love be called idolatry, nor my beloved as an idle show, since all alike my songs and praises be to one of one, still such and ever so. Kind is my love today, tomorrow kind, still constant in a wondrous excellence. Therefore my verse to constancy confined, one thing expressing leaves out difference. Fair, kind, and true is all my argument. Fair, kind, and true, varying to other words, and in this change is my invention spent. 3 themes in one, which wondrous scope affords. Fair, kind, and true have often lived alone, which 3 till now never kept seat in one. Always nice to, when we're playing Mario Maker, have one of the Shakespeare selections that is literally about things like creative block and originality. Very thematically accurate. Let's move on to the next level. Splish. And thank you for the follow. Next one is going to be Monkeys at Power-Ups. Power-Ups. By Theoremon, who is here. There's a huge story attached to this. That is about the length of the... Well, it's something to do with the Mushronomicon, and the story itself is about the length of the Necronomicon. Or even the Cryptonomicon. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you go to the website, you can kind of understand the legend behind this level, which involves a curse that befalls you if you pick up to 3 power-ups. Yeah, we had seen a prototype of a very similar concept in a totally different level by Theoremon some time ago. This is something totally reworked around the same concept, as far as I'm aware. And so, of course, we will want to, at some point, do the true completionist run of not grabbing any power-ups at all, I would be guessing. I would think that that's the hard objective in this one, is just to not touch power-ups. So, let's see it. You unintentionally put a reference to the original Monkey's Paw story at the beginning of the level before you even read it. Yeah. We'll see if we can catch that. You might want to point that out. Look at that bone shell up top. The eyes. You have 3 HP. And yeah, Yoto, hope the Splatoon's going well. Always welcome to lurk here while you're laddering. Or doing summon run or whatever else. Damage or any of these power-ups, including the poison mushroom, is a -1. Yeah, because I guess it's just based on, well, probably a state change detector, actually, if I remember what you were playing with previously. Some may help. Maybe so. It's a lengthy tutorial segment, but I think for a concept like this, it would be very difficult to communicate otherwise, so let's do it. Okay, grab this. We'll just try to avoid everything, though. Whoops. Not like that, though. Look at those teeth just staring at me out of that face. Actually, this one's kind of a face as well, right? Like this guy. Everything's decorated to look fairly creepy. And then we'll evade the poison mushroom if we can. There we go. Interestingly enough, I guess picking up the fire flower allows you to drop the poison mushroom by taking out the ice. So that's how the option of taking the power up can actually help you. Whoops. Conveyor belt was put in to avoid a soft block, but as it turns out, the final part of the story involves a factory accident. I see. 29 faces and an unintentional 30th one. Well, we'll see if we can tell which one is unintentional, but Lots of faces to work with. All over the place here. Yeah, I guess the fact that you're standing on standard bricks means there is a P-switch activation that drops you into the abyss, perhaps, if you are already at 3 total. That's what I would expect, that the entire bottom of the level drops out on you after a specified number of freeze frame interactions. Okay, let's see if we can get around this guy. Here we are. Jump detection incoming, yeah. Let's just make sure we don't take the SMB2 mushroom with us. This just lets you scan at what's ahead. Oh, interesting that the piece blocks are up there to do something. Okay, that's fine. More faces. A big mushroom allows you to carve a path up the top. Poison mushroom is still going to be a nuisance. What is this face even pointing to on the right side? I don't know. Okay, there we go. Very sneaky. Oh, it's another face, okay. This was a bad idea. Let's get out. Okay, there we are. Why would I want to hit these question blocks? Let's see. Okay, nothing. Good. And this allows you to go through if you have a mushroom, I suppose, but we'll go through here instead. The compression on the spring is going to kill you if you're not careful. So through we go. Cloud was reserved for SMB2 cheesing, I see. Yeah, lots of alternate routes. So we have HP equals 3, which... Oh, it's by section, I see. So it kind of resets, except we have a key through here since we were small. And otherwise you get the Master Sword through here, and presumably no key. So yeah, I suppose that if we do every section perfectly, then we pick up the keys for the end. I'm taking a little too long. We're under 200 seconds here. Let's not take this in case... Oh, or should we take this? No, we shouldn't, because I want to keep the key. Nope. My mistake. That's okay. We'll play it through and just learn to level a bit. Or not. Yeah, we'll start over. Great. And Curtis, Harry Potter equals 3. Yeah, that's exactly what we're dealing with here. The Prisoner of Azkaban. Whoops. All these faces here solemnly swear they're up to no good. Now let's bounce around. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, I really like the selection of just multiple options for each of these sections depending on the power-up collection. Nope. Whoops. That's okay. We'll play through it. Just to see more of the level and see what's available. Might as well just grab everything at this point. Nope. Yes. There we go. That's 2. And no, that's 3 actually, because we grabbed SB2. The key is how you check for a perfect clear. Yeah, that makes sense. And here we go. And we'll sneak under if we can. No, not like that. Too slow. Forgot to account for the drag on the ice at the beginning, so... Okay. Here we are. And yeah, I see what you mean about the setup involving a Bowser Jr. on a Muncher. If Bowser Jr. is taking 3 hits total before... I guess that would lower or disrupt like whatever obstruction you have on a Muncher that stops the P-switch activation. And of course you'd have the thing globally loaded per section, which is why everything is done by section. If I understand that correctly. Okay, let's not deal with the ice drag. I know. That's wrong. And Luca, welcome. Yeah, Luca saw your Mang artwork on the Mang level earlier. I thought it looked like Mang solving Tetromino translation. I don't know if that was actually the intention. Okay, here we are. This is straightforward, this is not so straightforward. I should have gone faster around the poison, or we just go over, in fact. Yeah, going over is much, much better. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't go for a perfect clear until I've actually seen the whole level, so I know what I'm dealing with. Here we are. Okay, then we want to go over directly. Great. Let's not die to this guy. And here's a key. Now, Theoremon, you're saying Oh, you're talking about the Mario Maker 1 level, I see, okay. Yeah. Alright, let's not hit this. We do need to hit the POW at some point, though, so... Just not get intercepted by the mushroom and just figure out the best part of the pattern. Hit the POW and go right at this point, probably. Nope. Okay, here we are. Yeah, the early stuff we mostly know how to do reliably at this point. Yeah, going over is much better for this guy. Now we don't get caught up on the jump detector here and have it land on my head in the pit. Yeah, I like that each obstacle is fairly relaxed, because this is all about consistency over the long term. Yeah, attempting to speedrun this looks like it might be an adventure, though. Especially because there are so many power-up choices along the way if you're just going for the clear. Okay, here we are. And it's nice to get a freeze frame detector concept in 6YMM this year. Because it's such a great piece of tech, and it's barely used, I think, because it's so difficult to communicate. And so there really did need to be at least one level that showed off the fact that it was possible. Nope. Bad timing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, as far as the speedrunning goes, I don't know which levels from this batch Hylian Dread was pushing on. He's the one who's been streaming a lot of speed records all over 5 and 6 YMM. And he's got something like 19 or 20 world records in a project, including on mine. I don't know if he would have done this one, though. But somebody who's been catching up on the streams might know. Okay, up we go. But yeah, it seems like there would be a lot of depth to understanding what the power-up path would be for a world record. Also, you'd have to be really good about dodging, obviously. Just to be able to do the stuff without planning and having an optimal cycle planned out well in advance for everything as you scroll it in. As you can see, I am taking everything pretty slowly. Okay, here we go. Okay, this one's kind of tough. I should get into the pit first. I should not. Let's just keep going for now. Well, I mean, not like that we don't. Yeah, I guess I need to fall in more accurately there anyway. But if we're dying there anyway, yeah, let's just start over. Oh, wait, no, I should have started over at checkpoint 1 because it skips the intro section. I forgot about that. That's okay. We'll shave the clear time a little bit. Yeah, I should have remembered that we can just skip checkpoints and take to death. And you're saying you might still finish up that other idea? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be nice to see if there is some way you can adapt that. Okay, here we are. Okay, there we go. Doing everything a bit more efficiently. And here we are. Yeah, I guess the on-off gate has to be on anyway. Nothing we can do about that. Okay, let's not die to this right away this time. Okay. Really just need to watch this until we find the right kind of path. There we go. I don't know how consistently I can do that, but I do want to lower everything, and then... Nope. That's okay, we'll see what we can do with 2 keys. I will want to do the completionist run, though, so... But I feel like I need to learn as much as I can. SMP2 makes this a lot easier, though, for sure. Like, much, much easier. But I guess there would be some change in the pathing as well, depending on what you're doing. P-switch drop. Huh. Then we hit the POWs, I guess. Nope, that's 2. Nope, that's 3. What of the reason that there are so many teeth in this level, yeah, I remember you saying that you've had dental issues. Sort of working their way into your nightmares this year. I mean, I guess it kind of works thematically for a level where devouring too many power-ups rots your teeth. And moreover, it drops you into a pit, which is slightly worse. Okay. Down we go. And let's go over. Here we are. Okay, same idea. Let's see if we can do this one cleanly this time. I think I know what pattern I want, as we saw last time. Nope, missed. And yeah, I guess I missed a second key if we don't do that, so... We previously got here with 2 keys. Let's see what we can do this time. Having a second immediate jump is the way we get around the jump detection. We have to be very quick about that, though. Can I do anything here? Nope. Yeah, and I guess the pathing just changes dramatically. Oops. Let's start from checkpoint. Well, this could be one of the harder objectives, but can't possibly be as tough as the other one we did yesterday. Yesterday I spent over 2 hours on Muncher Wave by Megatoro because it also has a true ending that is dependent on starting from the beginning. And I did not do well. It was a fantastic level, but I definitely didn't play it very elegantly. Okay. Let's go over here. That's all fairly smooth, at least. Okay. Let's see here. Nope. Didn't want to hit that bounce. Let's just go anyway, just so I can potentially learn more segments and fail to do so anyway. Yeah, and I guess there would be a coin collection that... Well, I mean, that's what we completed for the key on our way in the drop past section 1. There we are. I like how the extra SMB2 mushrooms here kind of signal in advance that you need to deal with jump detection. That's a nice way of flagging that for people who may have forgotten. This one is hard too if you go for a flawless run, but not even close to Muncher Wave. Yeah, I can't imagine that it would be close to Muncher Wave. That was, as I said yesterday, I think that was clearly the most difficult cake of the project for me. Whoops. Yeah. This one, however, I mean, it isn't hard, but it is a little time-consuming to do some of that perfectly just because I am taking my time to plot out the timings. So we may be on this level a while, but that's okay because I got through the first 3 today really quickly by my standards. Let's just take the death. The reason you needed 2 pink coins is because with rotten mushrooms you can shrink it and get the second one. Yes, at the end. That you can just take a hit rather, and do that. So you can't just place the key by itself in that segment, I guess. Or can you? Oh no, because you would be using an entity-based trigger with the pink coin collection, if I understand it. So you collect a pink coin rather than collecting a key, presumably because you could use an entity mechanism that way. Yeah, the first one's fairly trivial to reach, so that works. Okay, here we are. Nope. Let's just play it out a little bit more. We'll need to restart it anyway, but I feel like I need to see more of the level. And, you know, you put in all this stuff, we're not just going to do the perfect run, I suppose, if we can also see a few alternatives along the way. We'll just have to replay it, of course. It's more because the level needs to check that you got a perfect clear. Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, it does need to be a check at the end of that section. Hence the placement of the second coin. Yeah, we need to practice some of this stuff anyway, so let's just get back here, even if we don't have the first key. Whoa, nearly flubbed that again, but... Well, we've got 1 key. We need to have 2 at this point, but whoops. Nope. Yeah, normally without SMB2 you would just bounce over that directly, I guess, and try not to hit the super balls. Nope. Didn't quite measure that out accurately. Nope. Something that's been fun for this level is that you've seen people solve the rooms in ways you didn't even imagine. I mean, yeah, some of them seem like they would have a bit of a variety to them in terms of how people get the interactions under control. Like the thing I'm doing there with the SMP2 mushrooms and tricking out the jump detection, that not everybody's going to take that approach. I can see that being the case with a couple of these other obstacles as well. All about finding a comfortable timing. Like this one, for instance. Where you could see some people trying to rush it if they find a really good, reliable pattern to do so. Okay, down we go. You saw a Korean streamer beat the flower section by jumping off a falling donut. Yeah, pretty crafty. Wonder who it was. Alright. Because of course, I mean, I don't speak Korean or read it or anything, but spectating some of the Korean streamers has still been lots of fun. Some of them have a great deal of personality that comes through, despite not speaking the language. Yeah, this seems like, you know, you have to playtest practically every combination. Because the player could have just about any power-up at any time, depending on whether they've kept up to a certain point of the level, although, of course, the saw blades at the checkpoint do reset that. So each section is self-contained. There we go. That's the method. There we go. Now we dodge SMB2. Okay. Nope. All that work just for nothing. Best attempt at that yet, though. That is the best that has gone. And yeah, we may as well practice some of this stuff. Even if it isn't going to go exactly the same way. Yeah, this is risky. Nope. That's 2. Okay, this, you need to go fast. You could have used the Fire Flower to drop everything into that pit. That is true. I'm already at 2. I can't pick this guy up. Need to understand this cycle. Like, sneak in, hit a POW, get back down. There we go. Oh, whoops. And yeah, that's doable as small just fine. Let's take this. Since I have some keys, I don't have as many as I would like. Oh, that's how it enforces that you must be small. Is there anywhere to take damage then? And no, because the one-way panel is constrained to munchers. Okay, that's clever. But I could have taken damage from the munchers by stepping on them before the POW, right? Like if I step on the munchers, then hit the remaining POWs and then come through, then I could get past at least 2 doors, but I'm sure that there would be an additional check beyond that. And oh, P-switch would activate... Yes, but because that would be my... Oh, if you intentionally take damage there, there's a P-switch activation. I see what you mean. Because taking damage gives you the state switch. However, if... But that was all because I was already at 2, right? Like if I was at 1, I would have been fine with one additional state switch, wouldn't I? We'll redo this, of course. I see 2 pipes here, like there are 2 different exits depending on how many key doors you go through, or a whole range of achievement. Given the scale of the level, I think I can do this. The SMB2 mushroom was the only thing that... Well, I mean, the Fire Flower after the SMB2 mushroom, I think is actually easier when you're small, if you're in that pit. That's... Yeah, the second key is based on that mushroom detection at the very start. Or rather, the state switch from the mushroom collection. That I do understand. Yeah, well, I don't mind that the flower is easier when you're small. I think that, you know, you're so consistent to get up to that point in the first place that it doesn't matter if that's slightly rewarded. Big mushroom, of course, would just get totally wrecked by the flower, but I think you shouldn't have it at that point. No, I don't think you can have it at that point, so... Because you either have mushroom, fire flower, or SMB2 going into that, if I'm not mistaken. Or... Well, my memory is going to be a little off given that we're playing a totally different section. Okay. Let's do this. Used to have no downtime for the springs. I'm not exactly sure what interaction you mean, but when we get back there, maybe we'll see. Okay, through here. We do kind of have a method for the first mushroom, if I can execute it cleanly. I think I can get this. So when the mushroom crosses over, they come around here and don't bounce back up. That's worked a few times, except of course we need to not die afterwards. That little corner there with the one-way panel seems difficult to descend through when you are tall. I kept dying there repeatedly, as you saw. Okay, let's do this. The poor Super Ball is just going to be totally useless in terms of anything it can do for you if you do collect it. Yeah, Super Ball really doesn't do anything for you, I think. Unless there's something I'm missing. Whoops. Look at all those munchers stacked up top. Prepared to pounce on you. There we are. Okay. Here we are. Whoa, close call. Super Ball does let you cheese Section 2's flower. Yeah, I mean, it's alright if not every item is something that helps you temporarily. In many cases, just being big gets in the way of things in this level. As with this corner here with the mushroom. Miss. Here we go. Whoa, close call there as well. Hey, I do have a tactic mapped out for this. Let's just try it. Whoa, close one. Nope. Well, I mean, I already have the clear on the level, so we should restart. So yeah, just take a death. Yeah, the flower is probably the thing I'm most worried about at this point, in fact. And if I'm small, it should be easier, as I was saying. Okay, up we go. And forward. Okay, here we go. Same idea. This hasn't given me too much trouble in the past. Or has this one. Alright, everything's fine here. Let's see here. Let everything get out of the way. Nearly got caught up once again in that section. Okay, the repetitions need to be really quick. Okay. Nope. Just kept missing the middle. That giant mushroom, I felt like if I watched carefully the fact that it was bouncing a bit to the left and then bouncing a bit to the right, then I could just go under it when it was going right to left. Like, if you understand that it's not bouncing in the same location, but rather in two different landing spots, then it's easy to read. It's a tricky pattern, but it is still a pattern. Like, you can't treat it like it's a single repeated location, but rather a cycle of 2 locations. And I could see that throwing people off if they're not watching that fairly carefully. Like, the approach I have, I'll show you in a minute. Is I can see it as bouncing left, bouncing right. When it goes right to left, that's my window. And I noticed that early enough that it was easy to be consistent about it. And yeah, I quite like the variety of patterns that you managed to come up with. All these night-themed behaviors. Okay, here we go. Nope. Yeah, I really need to not hit the trampoline on the left side. I do have a consistent method mapped out for that, but I do need to land exactly where I want. Now, I feel like I have most of this worked out, though. I know what to do in every section. Okay. A close call there with the poison mushroom that time. There we go. And forward. Yeah, SMB2 mushroom is in this section obviously the thing that is my roadblock so far. But if I get that done, if I can get the flower done, I feel like I'm in good shape. Close one. Okay, here we are. Nope, just mistimed that completely. I mean, I don't necessarily need to do that double jump thing to keep it grounded if I just get a full height all the time. It's just that it seems a little easier to control it that way. But I don't need to use that method. I still think it's the right approach for my playstyle, though. It's just that the timing needs to be more crisp. Okay. Bounce. Here we go. And then here we are. Yeah, and I have to say, they really absolutely nailed the SMB2 mushroom. And I know that, you know, day one of it landing, people were already dealing with jump detection. Because there was so much potential there, but SMB2 mushroom really is the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we can get over here most of the time, it's just... Nope, too late on the second jump. It needs to be instant before it lands. And yeah, I had at least one attempt earlier where I was just doing a full jump over the SMP2 mushroom to hit the POWs in the middle. And doing that with the 3 nice clean hits, or at least that was the intention. I don't know if I prefer to do it that way though. So we'll go back there. Maybe the double jump method is not reliable enough given my timing. Obviously the key is just to figure out something that works as consistently as possible in case the flower becomes an issue after that. Because the flower spacing is pretty claustrophobic. Okay, here we go. Everything's fine here. Okay, now let's do this. But yeah, most of the ideas with the SMP2 mushroom still feel very fresh to me. I mean, I guess that's partly because I play a lot of puzzles involving it, and you can really see makers show off just how many interactions it has in this game. It's very, very well thought out. Whoops. And hey, Lentus, welcome. Yeah, Lentus, we've already cleared this level. I'm just going for the hard objective, perfect run. We saw a few alternate paths along the way with some of the power-ups. But not quite everything. Here we go. Okay. And all the way over. Okay, this is fine so far. This one's always a little bit tricky. I was getting a bit off-center because I'm trying to dodge the mushroom. Yeah, that's a difficult exit corner, but I suppose we make it out often enough. Okay, best attempt yet. We need to jump on the cannonball. And not hit the super ball. And not hit the poison. I was uncomfortably close on the left side. Okay, fire flower time. Let's get on top of the donut block for a bit. Oh, I see what you mean by hitting the POW from the donut. Hey, got it. This is going to chase me. We need to get the POW right away and then not die. Alright, I didn't expect that segment to be the one that would give me trouble, but I guess it was such a thrill to actually get past a bit with the fire flower cleanly that I got a little bit complacent there. Oh, I see. I totally misread Theorem, what you said earlier about the play as an SMB2 mushroom level. I know what you mean now, like the ones where Mario is off screen and you just control the mushroom using your positioning and a jump detector. Yeah, because those were really incredibly popular when the item came out. I remember seeing that all over the place. But yeah, SMB2 Mushroom is really puzzle heaven, though. You can just do so much stuff with moving objects around and doing the chain throw and all the other mechanics that are possible. You know, stacking stumps everywhere, manipulating trampolines. Just an excellent item all around. Whoops. Yeah, the falling poison part, I agree, Luca, that rushing was a mistake. Because I had too much forward momentum and I wasn't reacting to the new ones being dropped very well. And I have plenty of time to react to that. Oops. Almost hit that again. Okay. See, this is not that bad at all. Just need to plan ahead. And hit everything cleanly on the way in. Yeah, I shouldn't have struggled with the SMB2 mushroom for as long as I did. Okay, here we are. Yeah, the flowers still felt pretty tough. Okay, here we go. Have to hit this instantly. It is an easy segment, you just need to be patient. We have an approach worked out for this guy. We follow his direction and get back down in the same direction. There we go, that's it. I hope. Now, did I have the right number of keys? I had 2 keys. I guess maybe this is symmetrical. And give you 2 doors heading to the cake. And poor Bone Shell, of course, got neglected the whole time because Bone Shell does not give you the freeze frame of switching your power-up state. And oh, this is also a big face with these teeth. Look at this, the face in the background is devouring the cake. You kind of have to munch on the cake before it gets to you. And the bone shells are actually its nostrils, by the looks of it. This giant cake-eating creature, who's also having all kinds of dental problems. Anyway. Yeah, I really just love the look and feel of this whole level in terms of the faces everywhere. You would think sometimes that would be visually noisy, but they work out really well. All over the place, to give this a bit of spice since you're just otherwise walking around on standard bricks most of the time, so... Well, thank you for that, Theoremon. That was an excellent, excellent level. I'm really glad you managed to get this version of that concept out the door after such a long time. And you like the idea of a giant monster getting to the cake before me, yeah. And now that's how you do an anniversary level, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja power-ups. But which one's Splinter? Maybe Super Ball Splinter. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Is this Konami code? I think not. Yeah, Mini Barf, I'm not surprised, loves the atmosphere. If you remember some of Minibar's other levels, like the Lemmy level in 4YMM, very similar kind of aesthetic sensibility when it comes to doing faces with tracks and other elements. Counting the thumbnail, there are 29 background faces in this course, so which one was the accidental one then? The one that was face number 30? You'll have to let me know. In the meantime, I'm just going to read over the chat quickly since I kind of skimmed through some of your messages. And then we'll move on to the next one after this. And yeah, interesting to look at some of what you're saying about the playtesting process there. By the first giant mushroom, if you turn your head upside down, well, that's why I wouldn't have seen it. I was too busy playing right side up. Next level is going to be Mario's Without Hats. If I can find it. Here we are. Death to Spies just bringing the entirety of the 1980s and popular music to Mario Maker. I think I've actually had, by this point, more exposure to 80s music through playing music levels by people like Death to Spies than through actually listening to it. But anyway, Mario's Without Hats. We can dance when we want to, and it's the Safety Helmet Dance. Based, of course, on Safety Dance by Men Without Hats. You learned about this song as a kid because of Beavis and Butthead making fun of it. Now, that's an interesting point, because that might have also been a good match for the Beavis and Butthead sketch that was in the Week 7 trailer, if that had not already been taken by the composer at Wendy's level. Alright, hopefully my sound and everything is working just fine, so we can enjoy a music level to its fullest. Oh, it's going to peel the hat. That's going to be the whole concept here. Right. And it's going to be coin collection for the bonus route. Oh, whoops. A bit of a late start there. Let's try again. Just need to get settled here. Yeah, interesting use of the question blocks under all of the spikes. Just to give that a little bit of an extra highlight as these platforms. Because you can kind of visualize the question blocks and you can more easily see that those are the platforms you're supposed to land on. Even if you are landing on spikes the whole time. It's easier to visualize because I think mentally you would otherwise block out a lot of spikes as unsafe locations if you've just been playing Mario a lot in general. 2 coins. Bonsai, bonsai. Wait. How do I do that? I have to tap the question block after landing on a thwomp, perhaps. Wasn't quite sure about that one. Doesn't look like I have time to do that, though, so possibly I'm just a little too slow getting there. And that third coin is a speed check, or I just have totally a wrong order in mind for how to deal with it. Yeah, this thwomp chases you down pretty hard. Okay. Yeah, just going to do everything a little bit faster if I can. And I still needed the invincibility frames at that point to get up both bonsais. We know that from some Mang levels, in fact. Like the way you can kind of boost through the bonsais from below while you are in the invincible state. Yes, no, I need to hit that, and then I need to get through the pipe before the Thwomp retracts. And yeah, Theuremon, I think, well, there are a couple of factors in play, I think, when it comes to the prevalence of damage boosting. First of all, it's kind of funny how damage boost is the preferred terminology anyway, when my understanding is that it originally came from things like the Metroid games where taking damage would actually give you a literal boost in terms of giving you movement that you needed, rather than just invincibility frames. Like, it would give you a bit of an extra nudge to get you to the places you need. And seeing Metroid Dread come out reminded me of that all of a sudden. But the other thing, too, is that I think taking damage became much more acceptable in the Maker community, mainly because of the way that checkpoints were implemented in Maker 1, where it would have the classic Nintendo behavior of giving you the mushroom all the time. And so for concepts that would be broken by the mushroom, as you probably remember from Maker 1, it would just become standardized that you would have damage-based power-up checks everywhere. Sometimes as a lazy way of just not doing power-up quality control, but I think to the extent that people in Mario Maker have kind of seen taking damage as a much more acceptable option than in classic Nintendo design, that has definitely got to be a factor. I love this little bit here with using your invincibility frames to ride over the flying spike tops. That's a nice touch, is an unexpected interaction in some way to slide over them so smoothly. Like, really smoothly. No, I'm still supposed to be invincible then, maybe? Let me reread that. And yeah, Theuremon, I think that it's a really essential part of the Nintendo style, that you can look at every obstacle in the Mario games, pretty much, and you know that everything is doable without taking damage. Like, it's so consistent in their design that you know that's going to be the expectation. And because, well, in Mario Maker, you know, since that isn't the expectation all the time, people are just going to assume that they always have to check for damage in mind as the path of least resistance. I discovered that with one of my earliest levels in this game as well, that, you know, people are not going to play your levels like they trust it to be a Nintendo-like level. They're going to play it based on their own reading of what you're doing. And so if they see something that looks like a damage boost, they're just going to take it. Now, 2 doors here. Let's do them both. Symmetry. Oh, did we just not get cake? I think I'm supposed to fly at the bottom. Let's redo this. I think I'm supposed to fly. Let's try this again. And yeah, Luca, it's not just the accessibility, I think. It's very much the consistency of just understanding, you know, would Nintendo do that to you, basically? Especially with the newer games. I think with the older games, there's maybe a bit more flexibility with that, since they were still creating a lot of the conventions of the genre. And yeah, I mean, Theuremon, it's fundamentally going to be different with Metroid simply because damage is just tapping into your health pool. As with, you know, any intentional traveled through hot zones before Varia Suit or anything like that. I'm usually not too motivated to do Metroid speedrunning myself rather than just watching it, but with Dread I may make an exception, because the movement in Dread is just so interesting, and also because I want to try out some of the sequence breaks, which I only heard about afterwards. Since while I was playing Dread, I was kind of wondering if there was much potential for big sequence breaks, just given how the game was structured, but now it's clear to me that there's actually some really interesting stuff in there, including intentional breaks, that I actually want to learn on my own time. Like, I think one of the reasons that Super Metroid is so memorable to people, apart from all the ways in which it was beautifully designed, is that there are so many little pockets of weird one-off strangeness in Super Metroid. Just interactions that you see in one place in the game that you don't see anywhere else. Like, you know, killing Dragon with the grapple, or bombing the pipe in Meridia, which is becoming, I think, something that other Metroid games consistently pay tribute to at this point. Just little things like that that were unforgettable one-offs all over the place. I think Dread actually has some of those qualities as well. Like, there are these little things like secret kills and intentional breaks and other things that will make Dread very memorable in the long term. And yeah, Theoremon, I actually do remember that in one of the Iwata Asks interviews. I think I remember what you're talking about. I'd actually recently gone back to read the Iwata Asks interviews on Other M instead of Curiosity. But I remember you telling me that about NSMB Wii. Yeah, I found co-op really made NSMB Wii for me. I barely even remember it solo, but the first time I played it was entirely in co-op, and it was such a huge step forward for the series at the time that I think a lot of people only playing it in single player didn't fully appreciate. Like, if you're not playing it in co-op, you don't realize what a huge change co-op is to the Mario series as a major innovation. Okay. Too late in that. Oh, you're doing the 0% run, okay. On hard. So really getting to know the material. Very intimately. Okay, we're taking this, and then I'm going to fly. Yeah, look at the donut blocks up top. I've got to fly. It's got to be it. And then up top, yeah. Here's the cake. That's good. Yeah, because I didn't know how the doors would be matched. I guess if I were counting doors, I should have properly guessed that those doors on the right side were just going to drop me to the goal, but instead, we'll get the cake over here, which is kind of like this hat over the goal. Very thematically appropriate. And that's it. And look at that, 69 comments. And yeah, and Mario, I usually forget that too, with some of the Knight power-up behaviors, that the fact that they get repelled from you also works vertically with the leaf, which I rarely ever see put to use, but need to file that at the back of my mind in case I run into puzzles that use it. And yeah, the Grukowski comic series continues here. No friend of mine, as the song goes. And safety dance for the safety coin. Yeah, yeah. Nice observation from Psycho, who is another really entertaining streamer from the Philippines. Didn't really even think of that in spite of the big safety text pointing towards it. Super damage boost, brothers. Yeah, I never quite understand, people who kind of take the time to like write a comment saying this is impossible. But oh, this guy's filing requests. I'm sorry, I think Coldplay was after the 1980s. You'll have to ask somebody else. And yeah, balancing for single and 4-player, you can really tell what an effect it had on the spacing, although I think it benefited, though, Theoremon, that those were the first 2D Mario games that used the widescreen aspect ratio. Not counting, the kind of cropping you see on the GBA ports and such, but in terms of having those layouts being originally designed for widescreen. Well, to some extent. I mean, I don't think it was ever letterboxed on NSMB Wii, so I don't remember exactly what it did with aspect ratio, but yeah, maybe I'm misremembering with the Wii game, but you probably know this since you play through the series very, very often. Next level is going to be Aperture Testing Facility, which may or may not be Portal themed, but it is going to be a puzzle level by Nabooz. Welcome to Aperture Laboratory, where we holistically test holes. Yeah, it's sort of interesting that the jump physics for some of the older games like SMB3 are actually much longer and very slidey. Despite the fact that you'd have less space to work with side to side. I should pay attention here. This was Test Chamber 1, and you saw a bomb do what? Let's drop this. Hang on. Yeah, and it just bounces like that. I didn't really see what happened with the platform. Oh, it hits the switch. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand. But I wanted to switch once because I need it to proceed. Okay, test chamber 1 complete. Do we want number 2? We just need to bounce this repeatedly. Maybe? No. Or throw from this side. Yeah, that's what it teaches. And then I need to go back to retrieve it. Whoops. Okay, test chamber 2. Now we have 2 of them. 2 companion trampolines. I guess we toss this off the side, yeah, and it bounces back. Yeah, this sideways mechanism is pretty interesting. But then now we have 2. I should keep track of which one is which in case we need to control the pipe respawns. But no, I don't think it matters, at least not here. Later on it might matter. I find myself actively hoping that Well, I mean, I guess there are 6 coins here because it's a multi-checkpoint setup. I found myself actively hoping that Cake is going to be a hard puzzle. As with Grakowski's POW level. But yeah, actually, you can see that because there's 1 coin that's totally unobtainable, that is there just to be a gate control in a linear multi-checkpoint system. So you go through the test chambers in sequence. Because that kind of checkpoint mechanism depends on having 1 unobtainable coin. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so these basically work as on-off switches, just from a distance. But as single on-off switches. Whoops. Hang on, let's actually drop this. And drop from over here. Except I need to jump. There we go. Lentity limit, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah, I guess if you're... well, we'll think about that in a moment. Let's continue here. I guess I need to jump on top of this on a rebound. Whoops. Luckily, I do have multiple chances to do so in case I keep missing. And then if you drop both of these, you should have a back and forth alternating mechanism. No, let's fix the timing. Better. Okay, through we go. A red pipe, wonder what that's all about. Probably for after the state switch, a second switch. Oh, I jumped on something. Well, yeah, of course, because you have blocks down there to spring everything upwards. So a POW also works, except a POW is not what you need here because you need something that will get you upstairs. But this teaches you that the POW is also activating the switch that is buried below, likely from something being displaced by note blocks that these are bouncing on. Okay, next. Test chamber 5. Yeah, nice to have multiple chambers per checkpoint. As far as the numbering system goes. That'll be a one-time switch, as we have come to understand with the colored markers on either side of the portals or portal-like objects. We'll lower this, take it down. I think we are probably far enough in terms of range that the lift should in fact respawn, right? Or not? No, not quite. However, you would be able to do a swap. Hang on just a second, let's scout ahead. Interesting pit on the right side as well. Oh, interesting pit on the right side. Why didn't I ever consider... it doesn't look like anything can be dropped there. POW would not be throwable like that. Nope, nothing. That's just item dispenser. which might be interesting if you are ever in a situation where you have to use that intentionally. So, pretty clear to me that I need to have an object thrown through the blue switches on top. How shall we do that? Yeah, I need to throw something through here. Also don't quite know what's going on with the... Oh, red pipe just gives you the trampoline, so... That's fine, I think, because then if we toggle... Whoops, no, this is just one way. We're going to timeout, but we just hit checkpoint, so that's probably fine. I want to do this plus this, so I can do a little additional movement without Divine Climb, I think. Not quite. But I feel like I do want to dump at least one of these. So we can have that spawn from up top. So we can go up here and grab this. And then that would allow me to do a straight toss over here. So, can we hit checkpoint quickly enough? Yes, we can. And 2 seconds. Oh, we hit that coin. Let's see. That's not going to be preserved, though, so... I like the use of this lift, by the way. It's a very clean layout for this kind of a linear checkpoint system. Like, much tidier on the screen than those checkpoint systems usually tend to be. Even looks like a lift pulling you up, delivering you to the next service station. And yeah, that's a portal. That's what's signified by ice. Now, I've seen some portal-like mechanisms in this game before. I don't exactly know how this one is working. Whether it's kind of faking it by giving you 2 different POWs, or, you know, using a seesaw setup, or if there is some kind of... It wouldn't be conveyor movement, I don't think. But it's hard to tell. I mean, if you spend the POW, then how do you reset? You would just probably be given a POW from some kind of off-screen spawn. If I understand that. We need to go up with an object. We can do that eventually if we... What if we throw 2 objects in order? Yeah, I guess it is, like, if it works semantically like a portal, then you should see the same object get over, so it would be a conveyor setup. Because otherwise the game would have no way of, you know, predicting what it is you're going to toss down there. Because let's say we toss 2 objects. Okay, that's interesting. That's, they sort of get separated in order that way. See, now this is really interesting because this looks extremely breakable in some ways. So we can go up. Yeah, I feel like we do want to use both objects somehow to push the POW up with trampoline. Such that the POW is bouncing on top on the other side, but maybe that's not it. Let's rethink this. Do I get enough height off this guy to go up directly? Yes, I do, so... Why would I not want to do that? I guess you can spring the POW on top of this over here. Doesn't quite bounce up in a way you need, though, for that to happen. Like, can you just put it off-center a little bit? Oh, look, that works. I don't exactly know how I managed to get the timing to work. I don't know how well I could repeat that, but that's exactly what I was going for in the first place, so... But not knowing the mechanism, I don't think I'd be able to do that very consistently. Anyway, this is signifying extra puzzle for the cake. Naturally, we're doing it. That's chamber 7. On-off switch kills the POW down there. We would therefore need to come up. And a couple of different objects you can toss. But we have to go around before anything happens. Tossing this, of course, just whacks the POW, but if you drop, then you can do that. However, you do need an on-off switch to stop that before you can send it on down. By the looks of it, so... Either that or I just get up here and bump it. Oh, interesting, that... Okay, no, you can do it like that. Yeah. Yeah, the POW activated the first time because I was still holding up. And so because I was at the top of the climb, it was reading that as hitting the POW. Do we have more objects to play with? I do need an on-off activation, which tells me I should be looking where. I wonder if going through this activates anything? No. You know what? No, I can just take this object and drop that. Does need to be a drop, of course. Now that we have the trampoline, can I take this through with me? No, because it's a one-time use. We know that from previous experience. But we do need the POW in order to bounce a platform up to the door that's on the right side. The way we can do that is we can spin the POW. Except... Oh, we do have a slight issue at this point, which is the fact that the on-off switch has been activated. And we do need this on the right side. Which is fine, I think. Because if we dump this here, we'll have access to the below, which allows me to do a few things. First of all, it allows me to get a POW back upstairs, I believe. Let me think about whether we actually want to do that. No, let's dump this. Well, we can dispense either item if we wanted to respawn up top, like if we want to get another trampoline, perhaps. No, we don't want to do that. However... I mean, obviously we can jump up here and take whatever object up here if we will, but... doesn't quite help me here. We'll likely take the timeout on this attempt, and then As you can see, this whole bottom left corner is no longer directly accessible to me. That's a bit of an important consideration as well. But if we, whoops, drop that through the right side, maybe we can cycle around and grab another trampoline. Anyway, going to have a full time going into the cake puzzle room here. I think everything so far has been correct, without any real surprises. Whoops. Okay. Kind of a neat interaction there, so we should be on the lookout for anything that behaves like that. Also, I do like how this puzzle enforces that there's no reset door or anything resetting your position. It does assure you that every position here is recoverable, given how the items spawn back in. Anyway, take it through here as before. That's going to get gobbled up and spits back out. Yeah, consuming the POW now allows me to grab another one down below. I do want to do that then. And possibly that now allows me to take a POW up to this middle section. Yeah, that's going to be progress. So let's send this down. Okay, let's do that. So this is new, getting a POW over here. And if we dispense with the trampoline, we get to use it another time, and then that escorts the POW over to the right. Nope, I wanted to catch it on the way over. But I want to catch it on the way over once I have moved the POW over here. Now we dump this and then grab it again in the middle. Fairly straightforward. Here we go. Let's move things for maximum convenience, so I don't accidentally smack the POW or anything. Off-center, but we'll enter the door and we'll look at that cake reveal. Always nice when you have all those extra elements to work with. This looks like a scroll break on the left side, like we should have taken an object through here to throw on the left. Maybe there's one that comes up top. Ah, yeah, there is. So, toss this on the left. Maybe there's a scroll break activation from here. Yes, there is. Can I get another one? Yes, there we go. Oh, and it reveals the mechanism. Wonderful. Always love it when Nabooze does this. Unfortunately, we're going to get scrolled past, so I don't get to take a very close look at it. I'll have to reveal, or rather, review the footage afterwards to see. But I guess, yeah, the on-off mechanisms are equivalent with either of the states, though. And, yeah, I guess the cloud is kind of acting here as that's a slope offset. Very interesting. Yeah, because you see the entry gate, you toss an object in there, the claw catches it. If you just soft drop the object as you must do for the POWs, then it bounces up and the claw catches it as well. Then, yeah, it's actually that whole nudge on the thwomp that's going to get the on-off activation. Then if it's a side thwomp that gets bumped by something falling on a note block. So And then the trampoline that's on the conveyor belt that kicks everything out because the state switch. So this one was started on off. Like it starts in the off state. And then because it gets into the on state, the trampoline under slope kicks the thrown item back out. Yeah, the portal here on the right side, that's interesting. Yeah, I thought it was conveyors, I just didn't know how it looked. Well, I mean, as soon as we saw two different kinds of objects in the level, we knew it would be conveyors rather than some other kind of an illusion. But yeah, kind of mesmerizing to look at that and just see in both directions how that gets loaded in. Yeah, very neat. And lots of little weird things like slope offsets here that are making this work as well. If you look at the positioning of the trampolines that kick everything back out, like the way they're being positioned by the conveyors. So, exceptionally cool, I think. What happens when we drop something in here? This was just the introduction, right? Oh, it gives you the key at the end. And, oh, this shows you some more. That looks like a face as well. Yeah, it shows you the back and forth bounds, it shows you all of this stuff. Really neat. And we're back here. So yeah, once again, I'll have to go over the video to look over some of that frame by itself. And of course, this locks you off from the puzzle that you've already completed. Tons of interesting gate mechanisms going on all over the place here. 6Y. 2 pipes here. I wonder, can we scroll? We can. There are more drop locations. Why are there 2 pipes? Oh. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Oh, I missed the 6YMM text at the end. Do we want to go back to see the ending text? I kind of do, depending on how quickly we can do this. I probably won't be as fast as Meng. There's a cute thing at the end by the 6YMM. Yeah, I want to see it. I just wasn't sure whether that was going to be the main path or the side path, and so I just guessed wrong. Anyway, we've figured everything out, so let's... Well, apart from that one bit later on where the timing of getting the POW and trampoline stack was a little bit strange. But anyway, we've got everything here. Whoops. Oh, neat little 1-up collection here. I didn't get it, but I enjoy the idea. Didn't even notice that the first time. Make sure you don't collect the 1-up. Is that serious? The 1-up at the end does something incredible. Oh, I see, because this is supposed to scroll all the way to the ending segment. I see. Okay, okay. I'm glad I looked over and saw the message before I collected the 1-up. Yeah, that seems like an easy thing to just accidentally collect. So I'm glad I have playtesters for this level here to tell me about these things, so we aren't left guessing. Anyway, let's do this. Reactivate. Now, for the ending, do I need to redo the... Oh, okay, not that 1-up, okay. Do I need to redo the cake puzzle to get the 6YMM room that we were talking about, or I think I do, don't I? Or no, okay. Yeah, Mang did a speed run, so Mang would know. Okay, just checking. Right, because that's a key door that's off to the side anyway, and it just gives you the additional object to see the second column of mechanisms at the end. Alright, I understand. Whoops. Interesting, too, that jumping around doesn't do anything with the underlying mechanisms, for obvious reasons. Like, you can jump into the pit, and it's well defended against that. I'd have to look again at the mechanism, too. Think about that, but... Oh yeah, because it's with the whole objects and claws and everything working that way. How he hides the mechanism? Let me look at that, because I think in this zone, if we're in the subworld, that this is vertical with a custom scroll kind of pointing towards the ceiling. Maybe. I'm looking at the door spawning position and wondering if that makes sense. It might also just be the top row. Well, we'll think about that. I don't know how it's laid out. Vertical subworld auto-scroll? Yeah, that's what I thought. That you would be pushing up against the ceiling the whole time. Yeah, because I've used that before in one of my own levels as well to kind of fake a controlled vertical position to get around the fact that custom scroll doesn't exist in the subworld. Okay. Can I get through this timing? Yes. No? Yes, I can. But yeah, because one of the tells for vertical subworld autoscroll is that you only have 2 screens wide to work with at a time, and as you can see, this is exactly 2 screens wide. Okay, oh, you know what? We did this the silly way, didn't we? Okay, no, I actually do need to alternate it, and don't I? Yeah, no, I'm thinking of the later one that we did the silly way. And yeah, Theoremon, that's, might be interesting. Once again, I don't know how the Boo collision thing works in Switchback Swamp, so I can't speak to that too directly yet. But maybe when I've had time to think about it. Have we switched this over already? I think I did. Let me check. Right, because we want to toss this guy. Whoops, no. My mistake. I wanted to toss the trampoline, not the POW. Let's get in here. Destroy. That's another thing that works by portal-like logic when you incinerate the poor companion cube. And yeah, I love how the claw catches it. You can just barely make out the claw animation, like it's just devouring the object as it comes in. Okay, we'll go down here, we'll toss this. No, this is just a tutorial POW, I think, yeah. Except, no, this is how you get the POW out, so this is necessary. There we go. Then, right, this is the thing that was weird, which I didn't know if I could reproduce. Maybe I just wait until the pattern works. Or, well, I don't exactly know the entry timing, that's the thing, though. I just need to drop this all over again. Okay, we just got them in the wrong order, actually. Because the interaction is correct on the left side. Yeah, POW and trampoline on top is how you do it. Okay. Because now that we've seen how this works in the wrong direction, I think I understand it. Whoops. This should work. Yes. We're going to time out, but at least I have the method down consistently. And yeah, Theramon, certainly hoping we can see that Hyperboo concept that's at some stage then, so I can see what it is you have in mind. Okay. Miss. Then the same idea over here, except we do a spring on top of POW, as we discovered. And everything's going to align. Then we grab the spring over here. You wonder what exactly kills Mario after the timer runs out? Old age. Which has interesting implications for some of those larger puzzle mazes and such where timeout is expected. Okay, so we don't need to take the cake route to see the ending. Oh, I see. MM, 6YMM, and then, okay, we do not capture the mushroom, right? That's what you're saying? Whoa. Ah, okay, I see. I feel like that violates certain conservation laws. But I'm not going to complain, given how many extra lives that amounts to. And that's a GG. I think we saw everything. Although there was the door drop in the final area. Was that something I missed? I don't know. Where there's a door at the end. As an exit only, so. Anyway, thank you for the GGs. Let's take a look at the comments. 102 comments, wow. Yeah, thanks for showing the contraptions, very much so. Huge success. Yeah, there are a lot of things here that work very intuitively, considering the complexity of the mechanism. Oh, do we skip over to Grikowski comic? Grikowski made a very similar kind of level last year. Not with a portal interaction, but with the sort of Mecha Koopa recipe mechanism that was also very heavily conveyor-based. And which kind of felt the same in that you would be in this theme in SMB3 and you would be dropping objects into a pit. Very different mechanism underneath, of course, but the similarity is definitely there. The thinking. Very much so. Oh, Jackson also putting on a hat. Perhaps a safety hat? I don't know. I thought that was the previous level. And yeah, very, very cool level. Much, much agreed. Just kind of classic Naboos in a way, in terms of having these really neat background mechanisms with slope jank that just do exactly what the level requires of them. Okay. Next. That person I keep seeing, their name is a somewhat obscure Touhou reference. Yeah, everything I know about Touhou I just know from my viewers in Mario Maker. So I would not have caught that. We have 2 more to go. First we're going to look for drifting switches. Is it in this direction? Yeah. I guess Cook coming in with yet another level. This is going to be a 3D world level. Is this our only 3D world level this week? I think it is. Drifting switches. Beat blocks are not enough. Let's give them beat blasters. Yeah, it's this one, and it's going to be one more after that. So, looks like we're well on pace to get everything done. Our 8 levels today may, in fact, take a shorter amount of time than the 4 levels we did yesterday, but that was mostly just because of that one Muncher level, Muncher wave. So yeah, it's going to be blasters on a timer with conveyors. Kind of nice how the beat block pattern is mostly just kind of used as this signaling mechanism. Like, it's not doing anything functional, but it is giving you a clear visual indication of what the timing is supposed to be. Or at least it's not doing anything functional in the part that we can see. Possibly it does affect the way the switching mechanism is controlled. Although currently I can't see that on screen. Because whatever is activating the on-off switches is loaded elsewhere. Nope. Okay, we can do that too. We still need to ride it out though. Whoops. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe the mechanism does use the beat blocks in it, but very elegantly hidden, of course, just having the beat blocks under the conveyors in the center to give you a clear visual indication of left and right. And yeah, in terms of the track block loading Theoremon, Loop and Snoop made a video or 2 about it. That is worth looking into. That's probably the best explainer for some of the super global stuff, as he calls it. That uses track blocks to load things from way, way off screen. Like outside the usual 3-tile loading boundary. And yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff there I want to play with as well that I just haven't built a level around yet. Because we've had a couple of levels in 6YMM that kind of approximate the same results as some of that 3D World Super Global Tech, but not exactly the same thing. Like Pac-Man did something similar with the Goomba Hat level using the global loading property of Piranha Creepers. I actually should go back and watch Pac-Man's VOD again if it's available. Although I think he said he's saving some of them on YouTube, so they are visible. Because Pac-Man has been doing the behind-the-scenes tours as well. Much like I've been doing here. And the tour of the Goomba Hat level, as you might imagine, was pretty interesting. Yeah, I hit my head on the block in the middle here. I don't know if that will affect very much, although it looks like Mushroom was mostly for safety. Whoa, okay, we missed. And here we are. Okay. Let's get up here. To go back to the last level, I mean, we're playing this one, but to go back to the last level, it's sort of interesting to see just how well-recognized Portal has become as a part of the sort of design language of puzzles in a way that people kind of instantly recognize. Could have done the high spin jump there as it was going across. There we go. Oh, okay, I didn't quite know what the positioning was going to be here. Let's just tap a bit of everything. Ah, poor Dry Bones. Getting squished like the... Oh, didn't expect that stack. Yeah, we just go up. Long jump on the way over, so we can actually catch it. Not even a long jump, in fact, we'll just catch it on the other side of that fence. The background semi-solid fence is used quite nicely here to signify positioning. Whoops. Only for the one on the left, of course, but it does work. I just need to not get dragged by the momentum of the blasters I'm already standing on. But yeah, it does give you a very clear target, so... Five and 6. Probably just marking the transition from 5 to 6mm, I guess. Ah, nice use of the flying blocks. This is really budget heavy. That's why you don't see these all that often, because of the way flying blocks actually do take up entity space. Hey, if you have the budget to spare, might as well go over that. Whoops. Wall jump up to the clear piping, sure. Not totally accurate, but it works. We'll probably get into trouble if we try to do that twice. Yeah, thinking about the B positioning up top, and I'll do against it. Move the guy, maybe. I probably could afford to slide that a little later. Yeah, there we go. And as expected, coins on that side. I should not have gone for that. I knew that timing was not going to work out. Yeah, this whole floor here is sort of interesting. Also nice to just have a power-up for once for the sake of a traditional style power-up. We actually have not seen much of that lately. Any extra height will help with the pipes. And the damage protection. Okay. Let's jump off like that. Much better. Whoops. Should have thought about that in advance. Okay, up we go. Well, now up we go. Yeah, we can probably just evade that completely. Okay, that works. Let's not get squished on the left side this time. Probably do want to wall jump some of this. There we go. And yeah, once again, the semi-solids are going to signify where everything will go, which is a visual reference I should be using more often than I am. All this is going to feel fairly safe. I wonder if there are progressive power-ups. No, just shrooms. That's okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, we could probably drop by here then. And we'll kind of get crowded next to this Rybones over here. Yeah, fairly simple from here. Cake. And flag. Oh, so does the timing at which you enter the pipe... Oh, no, I think it's based on the lights. Okay.